Alright, everyone, welcome back. We are here with Half-Life 2 Episode 2, 90% RTA by Nonsensical Alias. Alias, take it away.
Hello. This is Half-Life 2, Episode 2. This is the RTA category, so I suppose I should explain, kind of what that means just real quick. Just like a preamble, because this run, goes really fast. So, to start, movement is going to be accelerated hopping. So, it's this kind of... You basically just gain speed exponentially by making the game think that you're, going a certain direction. So it thinks that if I go backwards, but don't hold the forward key, then I will gain speed exponentially backwards. And same goes for forwards and to the side. And then next, the other thing that I want to just quickly get out of the way is clipping, or not clipping, save loading. Because this run is RTA and not single segment, that means we get to do this. So that just looks like a loading screen, but that's me saving and then loading with one key, which just makes it look like I'm quickly loading, but that's going to let us do a whole lot of stuff. So that's all I want to say, and then start with 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so we start off in this train crash. We're going to get into this corner, and I don't like being in this train. You know, I get motion sickness, so I'm immediately going to try to do something to clip out of it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And there, we save loaded, but we got stuck in the train, and then when you're stuck and you save and load, the game moves you down. So we move down out of the train and get out. That saves a whole lot of time talking to Alex, or whatever. I don't really know who Alex is. We don't really see her in this game. And now I'm just moving along some mountains, kind of sketchy. Okay, well, it's fine. So yeah, you're totally supposed to be here, and then gonna just get near these very cool trees. There we go. Crouch in the right way, and I didn't want to take any damage there because we take exactly 71 out of our 72 HP that we start the game with. Flip into another little thing. There we go. Get up this ramp here. So now we just get more talking to Alex. Grab this barrel, line it up at a certain spot, shove myself into it, and it into the wall. It's gonna... Oops. I'm gonna try that again. Just kind of forcing it into the wall here, really bullying it. Now it's gonna smack me in the face in retaliation. And that's actually going to get me stuck in it. I'm going to save load 5 times. Now we're out of bounds. I'm going to pause, stop my momentum, because if you're out of bounds, pausing will instantly stop your momentum. And then this is kind of sketchy. Okay, we're in there. And then save load down into the ceiling where the end of the level is. And that's Portal Storm skip. Okay, that's the sketchiest part of the run, and now it's out of the way. So then I just save delete, basically telling the game I make a save with a really long name, and when I try to load it, the game doesn't know what to do, because it's way too long for its process. So what it instead does is it loads the map's developer-defined default save, which essentially... It gives you, it's like a dev tool, so it pretty much gives you everything you need. So even though we skipped Alex giving us the gravity gun, now we have the gravity gun. 3, 4, 5, 6. Do another prop clip here, and as you can see, they're kind of inconsistent. Not really the most reliable thing, but they do eventually get us where we want to be. So now we're doing some out of bounds movement. That's kind of sketchy, a little hard, but you know, we get over there. Skip over these tunnels, do some other things, and again, we're over a ceiling while out of bounds. Okay, loaded. Punt that rock into me. Give me a big vertical boost. Sprint swim. If you sprint before entering water, you can sprint underwater. And then do some more movement here. And then in this upcoming chapter, since this is just going to be some movement. Oh, nice lag spike game. In this upcoming chapter, it's supposed to be a really long, like, escort mission where you go and, like, you get a thing from the antlines or something. But that takes a long time, and, the exit to the next chapter is in this map. So you'll see this big old elevator, it's all the way up there. However, we do this just right. I'm hoping this works.
The Alex Vance clings to
Nope, that's
the
cool.
margins. My kin are,
Nope.
are still some
Nope.
are still some distance.
It's kind of sketchy
Still some
sometimes.
distance.
Ooh, no.
Are still some distance away. It's away. It's away.
It can be kind of troll sometimes, so fortunate.
It's away. For now, we
No, almost.
must not.
Sorry, there we go. Alright. Yeah, so there's like a variety of different lineups that you can use there. It's just generally kind of a pain. Do another save delete. Oh, we skipped that entire chapter, so it's fine. So now we do another save delete. We're gonna grab a grenade. Time a boost onto this invisible ceiling. I'm gonna stop myself over here. I'm gonna grab this barrel. Let's do some hops over to this mountain. Unlucky, did not get the one. So instead, I'm gonna do a prop climb, which is basically, if you can hear my keyboard, I don't know if you can. Repeatedly grabbing and dropping, a prop under you, to basically, constantly jump off of it and gain a ton of height. You know. Not too difficult, just kind of loud. And then I'm gonna line up another clip here. Well, this one can be pretty annoying. Yeah. If the prop kind of like starts vibrating like that, it's not usually a great sign. Hopefully this works. It might not. Yeah. This one does not really like cooperating sometimes. Damn, it's really... Yeah, like, please. Sorry about this. This is not intended. Maybe grab it from here, maybe. I'm not sure. Sometimes prop clips just, they don't really make sense. There we go. Yeah. So that one especially tends to be inconsistent. Like that whole map is just really difficult. Another save delete here, surprise, surprise. Not fun for a while though. I don't really want this gun, but I guess I'm picking it up anyway. That's okay. I just need to figure out some different routing with supply crates, but I'm trying to do a grenade boost. There we go. Okay. Now we're onto this invisible ceiling, and once again, unintended geometry. And now there's some geometry here that we can clip into. We're behind like a mountain, so there's some weird like displacements and stuff. And because they only have one-sided collision, you can clip into them. And so that gets us stuck. We do a bunch of save loads, a whole bunch of them, a few more. There we go. And that was another chapter. There was 2 maps there, that one. Now, try to do a big old launch. This one can be kind of annoying. There's like a lot of like, weird geometry under the water and stuff that can like kind of divert your hops. There we go. So, and now I'm gonna try and stick the landing. Float. Oops, I'm probably dead. Oop, yeah. So I messed up my house a little bit there. That's alright. Can I get the big launch? I think I can get the big launch. So there's an enormous trigger in this map that yes. Okay. So that was big. So there's an important trigger back there that basically gives you an instant game over if you're not with Alex. However, if you get a big enough launch, you can skip it. There's like a backup if you don't get the launch. I'm gonna get some extra health here. But that is very nice to get. So it did take me a couple tries. Yeah. And now I have to look back here, otherwise Alex doesn't spawn and I hop on. I want to slow down a bit here. That's not good either. This is kind of... So this will be a little slow. That's fine then. Better to play it a bit safer, I guess, at this point. So now there's a helicopter chasing us. It was supposed to start chasing us in the last map. But we kind of skipped past that. So now it's chasing us in this map. And so I have another barrel. We can climb up here. There's another trigger that we need to skip that'll give us game over because Alex isn't here. But there we go. The helicopter's following us. So now there's no risk of a game over. The helicopter is a bit finicky. You sometimes have to like babysit it. Kind of annoying, but it's alright. And I have an SMG nade, so we can boost there. And because I'm entering it kind of from an unintended spot, this is the trigger to start the fight. And Alex just appears there. If I didn't look backwards at the start of the map, she wouldn't appear there, and she would soft lock. And I did not know that when first learning this game. So I had to I was very perplexed when asking for help with this map. Wondering why I just couldn't proceed. And that was an amazing helicopter fight. We got 3 pretty quick mines there, and I didn't have to reload on any one. At least I think. But yeah. So now Alex and the guy are gonna talk. And we would normally have to like follow them into a room to transition to the next map, but we're not gonna do that. Because in the next map, at the very start, there's a cutscene. And that cutscene's like really long and boring. We don't really want to have to deal with that, so we're gonna prop climb over here to this spot. Prop climb up here, grab this barrel, set it down like here. And I'm gonna do a really weird thing. I don't really know how this works. Or I guess why it works, but it just kind of does. So, smack this barrel into me, and do a ton of save loads. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, 18. I think that should work, because the barrel did push me. Okay, it didn't work as I wanted to, but that guy went enough into the room for Alex to go into the room, so we get to proceed. So that's fine. When it happens like that, it's actually random, so I'm very glad that I got that to at least work out in some way. The thing that I was trying to do would make it consistent, but I still kind of don't really know what makes it work or not, so, you know. Still a little bit questionable, but we proceed. So, that crow that I shot at, I had to wait for it to pass through another trigger that would be an invisible game over. And by starting the map the way that I did from like behind the room or whatever, it made it so that I started in a different room, and I did not have to wait through that whole cutscene. So that map goes from being like 3 minutes to about 40 seconds, which is very nice. And now I'm gonna come up here, and there we go. I have an SMG nade. I'm gonna grab a whole lot of health for this just to make sure, because I'm gonna do a double damage boost with this barrel and another grenade. So now there's a hole in a giant clip brush that covers almost this entire map, but there's a hole right there. And so we can just kind of skip it. ABH along top of it. Yes, ASH. These mountains can, instead of like breaking your fall, they can kind of kill you for some reason. Just kind of like how you hit some of the geometry on them, it's a bit finicky. So now here's another save delete. For personally, in my opinion, the hardest.
Gordon, wait!
However, interestingly enough, the hardest map actually has invincibility. So I'm doing this giant launch, and I will not take any damage, despite, you know, what would otherwise be probably life-ruining injuries from that fall. Probably life-ending injuries. Now I come up to this room where the transition trigger is, and I'm trying to time a save load tick perfectly, so 1/66th of a second. Not quite getting it here. So that perfectly when I'm fully crouched, for some reason, you hit the trigger. And if you do a save load, on that exact, there we go, I got one. On that exact tick, then for some reason, the game, like, it recognizes that you're in the trigger and then doesn't recognize that you left the trigger. So it thinks now, because I'm touching it from the outside as well, that there's 3 people in that trigger, which meets the requirements for the level to change. So now I'm up here. This map is normally a giant cutscene introducing you to the White Forest base, but it doesn't have to be. And it instead can become the shortest map in the game. And now, this is kind of scary. I'm going to do what's called a void clip, which I'll explain after. But for now, it's a ton of damage. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go, that's very good. Get all the way up there, so, you know, we skip having to climb up this entire map. It is very long. It is very long normally. So now we're at the end. We can close the blast doors, through which the Combine were invading the base. And now, hopefully, I get this. We have to kind of run at an NPC here. There we go. Very good. He's running back. Not any problems. There we go. Okay. So, that trick that I did, that was a void clip. Essentially, what that was in out-of-bounds space, if you repeatedly save and load with velocity, it'll kind of conserve your velocity in the direction, in like that direction. What that means is I can do a damage boost that normally would not give me enough speed to get up to the end room by void clipping, doing about 25 save loads, give or take. Then instead, we can get up there. And that skips a lot of gameplay. And now, this is a giant cutscene. So, you know, I get to drink some water. Maybe I can pull up the stream and re-chat if anyone is confused about stuff, because I know that was a lot and I wasn't really like fully on top of explaining all of it as much as I could have probably to make it understandable for everyone. So, yeah. Let me see. Alright. Alright, doesn't seem like there's anything there, so that's fine. But yeah. So, I might as well, I guess explain sort of the story, so far, because we kind of skipped a lot of that. Alright. So, essentially, this is like a whole big like plot element section. So we're escaping City 17, and there's a big portal that we also skipped opening, or skipped watching open, that the Combine are using, the bad guys in this game, to get to Earth. And so as like part of this, we found evidence of a ship called the Borealis, that was built by African Science, and now our goal is to retrieve it or find it, I guess, and either we destroy it or we use it against them. And we're at this base because there's a big old rocket that we're gonna launch to close the portal so that the Combine can't get to Earth, which would be pretty good. So I guess we'll see how that goes in the next game in the series. Really excited for that. But yeah, we're kind of waiting around here. There's something that I will start doing later, but which doesn't matter here, so I'm not bothered. Called teleporting, which is why I have this book. Essentially, if an NPC sometimes will want to walk somewhere in order to start dialogue, and in order to speed that up, then you can bonk them on the head with a prop and simulate them being stuck. And whenever they're stuck, they'll think, okay, there's no way to get to my objective because I'm stuck, so I'm just gonna teleport. So I can try one on Alex here, even though it doesn't save time. There we go. So she kind of went from here right to here, and that's teleport. So that is kind of just a way to speed up cutscenes in this game, because there are some fairly long ones. And I'm standing over here so that Alex will walk towards me in a second, and she eventually needs to go over there, so I'm just kind of standing here in order to get her closer to her objective earlier. Because her leaving also speeds up Eli's dialogue. So, it's just like small things. Small time saves. So, yeah, okay, that's fine. So, now Eli is talking at us. And we still have a little bit of... However, soon Alex will come back, and then Magnuson will appear. And he's going to talk at us about the next big section of gameplay that's going to come up, which is the Strider fight. There's going to be a whole bunch of giant, spider-looking things called Striders, and we gotta kill them because they're trying to destroy our rocket. That is imperative to the plot of this game, which I'm sure will be explored in Half-Life 2 episode 3. But yeah, in the meantime, just kind of waiting for Alex to come back. He's doing some exposition or whatever. I don't really know, but here. And now they're gonna go chill. And here's Magnuson. He's very unhappy. So he hates people having fun. So he's just he's gonna be kind of annoying. And then he's gonna come over here. He also kind of soft walking if you teleport him the wrong way, but it's not that hard to avoid. Just another fun quirk of Magnuson. This guy. He's very angry. Yeah, there we go. So he's gonna explain to us how to use this in order to do that. It's basically all we need to do. Although Strider Battle is a very fun section, which we will be getting to shortly, I swear. Magnuson just kind of has to talk at us a bit. There's also some fun NPCs back here to look at while he's kind of just talking at us.
What it is a sort of sticky bomb.
This section you don't see a whole lot of the time because if you get here and you're super behind, then usually you don't bother finishing the run. So if you're doing attempts, then you kind of you don't have to sit. Especially just on PB pace where you can chill and go to the bathroom. So here we go. Oh wait, actually, I don't do that lineup. I forgot. I don't have to do that lineup
Out in the
till
field,
the second one.
we'll supply you with all the
So he's explaining that these things basically are where the bombs things that are called magazine devices come from. He's going to demonstrate us how they work. I'm going to do a quick dialogue skip here. By doing one quick buffered shot with my gun away from the device, and then shooting it, it saves like 2 seconds of dialogue. He talks at us about how to use the magazine, but I've played this game before, so you know, not too big a challenge. Now I'm just gonna do a quick lineup here. That's pretty easy. It's not actually that important. I like doing it because it's fun. Makes it seem more difficult than it is.
Magnificent device, isn't it?
But yeah. So that's all we need to do. Now we're gonna teleport Magnuson, who really likes teleporting, as you can see.
Enough? Your car is fueled and ready to go.
Thanks, man.
Every building in the valley has
There we
its
go.
own dispenser.
So
So
I need to do a couple more teleports, so I'm just bringing this along.
Now I must get back to my rocket, Freeman.
Yeah, so he's still on his rocket.
Relying on you not to squander my trust.
It's really a big deal to him. I don't know. Taking the planet is too
If you pull this off,
huge problem.
I might just forgive you for that debacle at Black Mesa.
I was gonna say this.
You know the one I mean, involving a certain microwave casserole.
Yeah, so I don't know what he's talking about there. Someone could explain that one to me. I don't really get it. You know, he's gonna open the door for us. Come here.
Hey, Dr. Freeman, over here.
And this guy's gonna talk at us a little bit more.
Check it out. I added a rack for Magnuson devices.
So he's telling us about like this cool stuff that he added to our car. I'm not really gonna be using the car a whole lot.
Radar so the combines show up red on the dashboard unit now.
But you know, it's the spirit of the thing.
To your HEV suit in case you get separated from your car. No need to thank me. Now check this map.
We're gonna see some sick disco moves right here.
At the south end of the valley. The rest of the gang's up north by the old sawmill here.
Nice.
Head on up there, and they'll fill you in on the battle plan.
So he's gonna be like announcing everything. He's gonna be telling us where all the striders are. I know where all the striders are, so you know, not a huge deal. But now we're gonna get in our car. Gonna it's stuck on something. That never happens. I'm doing a great job driving this. I've never had to drive this car in more directions than forward. Gonna drive right into that guy. Completely ditch the car instantly. Alright. A nice little that's never happened before moment for the marathon run.
Perimeter's clear.
It has never gotten stuck like that before, and I don't know why that happens. But it's alright, we're gonna do some moving. Kind of. Not doing too great a job at it. But get close enough to these guys to start the dialogue, and then I'm gonna run away. And as long as I get back in time, before their dialogue ends, and I have not wasted any time. So it's alright. I just need to grab this Magnuson. So we're on time here. My game is stuttering a little bit, which is not a great sign. Because this map is there we go. So that hunter likes being awful. You see, that's an example of what the striders are gonna look like. They always have hunters with them, and the hunters are the worst part. They like shooting off the magazine things a lot. Most outside of the first and last are not actually that bad, but kind of annoying. You have to kill them using the logs. You can use guns, but the logs will do 2 hits every time, all difficulties. If you hit them with a good hit. You always want to go for the logs whenever there's some nearby. Really just like any sort of physics object, so like some of their some pieces of like their legs and the hull are you can grab them with a gravity gun, and you can also hunt those at the hunters. and it'll hit his man. The Striders cannot shoot the tanks. No matter how hard they try, it will not work. So the most they can do is knock them out of the grasp of the gravity gun, but that's alright. Not usually too big a problem now. Some Striders are on timers, so like this one is just on a timer. So I get to do a little lineup here. Wait for a cue. Spam some save in the meantime, you know. Why not? There we go. No problem. That one tends to be pretty decent.
Keep up the good work. Only a few Striders left.
There we go.
Strider coming towards the sawmill.
That one's pretty good. Alright. It's another lineup one. Sometimes it's a little sketchy because it's a pretty short timer. Now there's one by the crane. We go back here this time because it's going to be going this way. And yep, there it is. That one starts a really long timer for one Strider a lot later. That's right. You know what? Yeah, you can also, one thing I did there was you can kind of like do like a double shot with the shotgun. But the reload usually takes a long time. However, if you just press the button to reload, then it's like fine. Oh, my Magnus. I hate this guy. That's extremely rude of him, so we're gonna have to go back to get one. But again, we're on a giant timer right now, so it's not actually like a huge deal. I just need to sort of like catch up to this guy, which shouldn't be too hard because he's sort of just lumbering along, and I have acceptable competition. So not too huge a deal. It's alright. The hunters can be just kind of troll like that. That's just sort of something that you gotta deal with. Should be able to make it back in time.
Another Strider from the water tower.
Okay. And you know what? Just for safety, being real annoying as well. Okay. So normally I'm able to kill that Strider pretty quickly, but he managed to get all the way over there, so that sucks. So I was off killing the hunters. However, that will be the last one of this
Looks like
wave.
that was the last one.
That's fine. I just kind of don't have like.
Get ready, everyone.
Well,
We've spotted drop ships carrying even
it's not like it's gonna lose me a ton of time, but I just need to like play this with the different ammo that I'm used to. It's alright. I'm setting up some magnets here because I have about a minute to kill. See if there's like some reasons. Not really anything that I'm in dire need of, right? I can play this out with the ammo that I have. At least I should be able to. If I can't, then that's kind of the problem. So all these Striders are on timers. Unlike the many in the first wave, which were not on timers, or at least some of them were tied to timers and some of them were not. So I can kind of just chill. This guy doesn't have 100, which is nice. guy does though, which is not nice. Not a fan. He actually has 2. But again, they're all timers, so it's not a huge problem. I left this one all the way over here. And now I just have to get one more hunter, or one more strider at the sawmill, and one more strider at the crane, and then I will be heading back. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the last hunter is nice to me, because he tends to be a bit of a bully, and like shoots at me really early and like messes me up. It's not fun, but hopefully we should be alright here. Nice.
We are not done yet. Another strider was just spotted at the sawmill. One more at the cranes.
It's alright if I'm a bit slow here. It actually makes like... Yeah, so... See, he kinda... I'm just gonna get him out of the way. I don't care. That hunter has messed me up more times than I would like to admit.
We held them off.
It's very rude. But there we go. That's a strider battle, so now we just kind of gotta head back.
Attention.
Not die in the process.
The strider
And I think I should have enough resources to at least try Magnus,
immediately. Repeat.
because it's a very funny trick.
Oh, Gordon? You were
Alex, please follow me. Alright,
unconscious
so-
at the final stage.
I'm gonna grab
But
this.
Dr. Magnuson's
thing.
ship will be in time to stop it.
I'm gonna grab this chair.
Tracking beacon. Oh, there's another bit of crud.
Through.
Support
That should be okay.
Hold on a moment, Connor. Ah, Freeman.
There we go. Alright, so I'm gonna get this chair. I'm gonna get stuck in it, because you can do that.
I feel
Tilt it out of the way. That kills Magnuson. Grab a grenade. This might work. Looking good. Hey, there we go. Alright, so that was Magnuson skip, so that basically skips Magnuson talking at us for a bit. However, we have to get past an invisible wall, so
Helicopter that I was able to
we have to do that damage.
I've got it all packed up
And
and
that
ready to
clip.
go.
However,
Never a dull moment.
that saves about it's like 20 seconds of Magnuson talking at us, which is very nice. And now another plus, he's not here in like his room, which you know, he's dead, so he's not going through his dialogue in the cutscene. So they pause to let him talk because they're on like timers to let him talk. So it only saves that talking sequence, like before we went to the elevator, not anything here. And it's also not a soft like they just continue going with their cutscene. But there you go. That's Magnuson's skip. I'm glad I hit that because that is one of my favorite little skips. Spam E on the button, and now it's going. Try and like hunt the chair to here, but I'm not too good at it yet. So. Oh, I got it in. There we go. Even better. It technically went in. So there you go. I don't think I've ever done that. So this run may have been sketchy, but at least we got that. And this is basically the final chapter. It's just kind of waiting. There's our rocket that I typed up. It's real. We get to watch it launch. It's all very fun. And now we're just kind of gonna go outside and celebrate. Magnuson is supposed to be talking. He's like losing his mind over the rocket going well or something.
It is going to work, right?
That's kind of nice because like I don't really go for that in, so it's kind of funny like just hearing this scene without him like going off constantly at us. He does like to talk a lot, but yeah. So now there's some teleports.
Gonna see us off?
Save some good time. So gonna try and hit them. Gotta hope.
Okay, I'll hold you to that. You too, Dr. Magnuson.
It's Gina walking. There we go. Got a few seconds from that. And then these Eli teleports also save time. She's in a weird spot, so she kind of like clips into him. Yeah.
Don't be deceived. That ship must never
Eli is warning us about the Borealis, which we will encounter, I'm sure, in the
Where are you two? You're gonna miss it.
invigorating sequel
Alex.
to this game.
Gordon, thanks for everything you've done for Alex.
Yeah.
For all of us.
At least for episode 2, we are closing in on the end.
Now, when you get back,
Pretty
we've
chill.
got a lot to talk about.
From here. It's very relaxing, very rewarding to wait through this cutscene. It's definitely not anticlimactic. And you can tell that it's not because like look at this very cool effect that they're gonna do. Also look at dog. So interesting. Just ignore like the little box thing that I'm holding. Yeah, so there we go.
We did it, Gordon.
So now everyone's celebrating. Normally Magnuson would also be celebrating. However, he's dead.
I'll bet the
That
Combine
sucks.
aren't too happy right now.
But and now some teleports. That's good. That's the one that saves
Okay,
time.
Dad. We'll find Judith and bring her back. Dog?
The Alex one does not save time.
Hey, where are you?
That Eli one saves time.
A nut. Don't go too far.
Because he starts interacting with this the keypad earlier. And try to teleport them both into here to start the dialogue. There we go.
Well, there she is. Gassed up and ready to go.
Remember to keep in constant contact.
So
I have no idea what
now
to expect.
chilling. Time's going to be coming up pretty soon.
I just
Um,
wish all this didn't have to fall on you, Alex.
After we like get into this elevator and then get out of it, the stuff happens. A cliffhanger ending only because I wonder what's gonna happen in the next one. You like to be okay. So time's gonna be coming up in a few seconds. I'm throwing this away because if you teleport them out of the elevator, they fall. So time's gonna be a second.
She could well make
3,
another attempt.
2, 1.
Dad!
Time.
Gordon!
Sure, that was a bad act. So, yeah, there we go. And oh no, these things, they appear. Very unfortunate. I guess I'll let this play.
Get away!
Yeah, so Eli's not looking too good, but yeah, that was Half-Life 2 episode 2. Thanks for letting me run this game. Mediocres. Check out like Swords runs. I don't know. This game's pretty cool. More people should run it. We've had like 4 active runners lately. It's pretty sick. That's like the most activity this game has seen in like 3 years. So,
Oh my god!
more people should play this game, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really stream, but I guess I do have a Twitch, so I might do that. Yeah, that's about it. This game. So.